supporting you in your dog parenting journey. The Dynamic Dog Owner with Debbie Potter.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Dynamic Dog Owner, the podcast designed to help and support you in your dog parenting journey. Again, we are joined by Tash of our training team today. So we have a little bit of a weird topic today. It's not necessarily a particular topic, but we're going to quick fire our most and least favourites. This isn't planned. As you know, they are never planned. We just talk. Or I just talk, we just go for it. I mentioned that to my husband last night actually. He was like, what do you mean you don't know what you're talking about tomorrow when you're filming? I was like, nope, I haven't got a clue. And he was like, I wouldn't be able to do that, I'd have to plan the whole script. And I was like, no, we just kind of go for it and wing it.
It'll be what
it'll be. Exactly. So, most and least favourite. We don't know what's going to come up. These are going to be the first answers that kind of come into our head. Yeah, who knows? It could be interested. You could go, this is a load of rubbish and not want to listen. So, where are we going to start with? Let's start with the easy one. I can't think of any easy ones. Most and least favourite group class that we run.
Most favourite recall. Recall or puppies? No, recall came out first. Least favourite, hands down, lovely leads. Easy peasy, hands down. Not even a thought needed.
Okay, my most favourite.
If anyone does do lovely leads with me, though, I do enjoy it when I'm there with you.
Well, we'll talk about the answers briefly afterwards. My most favourite. Oh my god, that's so hard. I've got. Can I have two answers?
No.
Okay, puppies then. With the
Not
scent
what I thought you were
detection. Scent detection is a very close
Not
second.
what I thought you were going to say.
All lovely leads. All
can't pick all
three
of
of my
them.
favourite. All three of my favourites. I think puppies has to win over them all because it's really lovely seeing the beginning of people's journey. We're going to talk about them afterwards, not first. Okay. Least favourite, hoopers. No offence if you do hoopers.
Sorry, Carrie.
So tell me about yours. Why are they?
Recall. I just love it. I love recall. It's my favourite thing to teach my dogs because I think partly because I like the end goal of being able to have my dogs off lead. Mm-hmm. I like it because it should be fun. I like it because I like seeing people open up to having a bit of fun with their dogs and seeing that, it doesn't all have to be serious and boring. And I think it's one of those topics, I mean, you could argue, a lot of topics are, but I think it's one of those topics where it means a lot to people, and seeing somebody go from, I'm never going to be able to get recall, to succeeding and, long lines off lead, whatever their end goal is with their dog, because everyone's got a different goal, seeing the change in how that benefits their life and their walks, I enjoy.
Okay, and why is lovely leads released?
Because I just hate lead work. Because I find it boring. I'm just going to be brutally honest.
I find it's just so joyful. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just being brutally honest. I find lead work boring. It's just not something I enjoy.
Fair.
Is my really simple, concise answer.
So I have three favourites. I can't pick.
That's cheating.
Puppies is absolutely, I think, my favourite because it's the joy of seeing
just
brand
so
new people at the start of their journey and all excited about puppyhood, and it's really nice to see them at the beginning and kind of shape their first few months with their puppy.
Yeah.
And obviously scent detection and lovely leads come for a second because I fucking love them. Least favourite hoopers, it just doesn't float my boat in terms of, I don't mind doing it. Dave really enjoys it.
He does.
But maybe it's just because I don't teach it very often. And that's why I don't like it. It's the one I don't do.
It's fair.
Okay, you can pick the next most and least. It's supposed to be quick fire.
Okay. Most... I don't know, this is a 50-50 choice anyway. So it's more of a preference as opposed to a most or least favourite. Group class versus one-to-one.
Oh, I don't think I can answer that. Can I be on the fence?
I mean, you've been on the fence for the last one. Your most and least favourite is going to...
What's yours then?
In fairness, it depends on the mood that I'm in. If push came to shove, I would probably say group class.
Okay.
I think partly because I like seeing, this is going to come across as a really weird answer. I think sometimes you get people come along feeling very apprehensive, very kind of lost on their journey. And what I like about a group class versus a one-to-one, I think, is the kind of relationships and camaraderie that you see people develop. And I think
fair.
seeing, you know, especially if you think of like puppy owners, seeing people who are all in the same situation, all having a very similar challenge and working through it together and then celebrating each other's successes is what I like about a group class.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
nice.
that aspect.
Okay.
I like seeing people kind of like cheer each other on for doing really well. I think it's nice. And I think, you know, we've seen so many friendships grow through
I
group
know, it's
classes.
lovely. Yeah, like long lasting.
That probably is one of the big reasons that I like them. And I'm not afraid of my one-to-ones. I'm not saying I don't like you. I do. I love spending time with you.
But yeah, knowing that you've facilitated that friendship is...
I like seeing that part.
We were like where did you meet? I met at Potter Paul's dog training. Yeah, it's really cute.
I really like it.
We haven't had a romance yet though. That's sad.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of. Yeah.
Not that we know of. There's still time.
Only had friendships.
Okay, go.
Oh, well, why am I?
Well, you've just sat on the fence. You like
Yeah,
everything.
I know. I just can't just... Okay,
the next one you give, you've got to choose an answer. You can't go 3 on one and sit on the fence for the other. That's cheating.
The reason is, I think they're so different, and group classes are lovely in terms of, you know, I like it's quite fun, it's quite jovial, you can really have a laugh with a group class, you can work through exercises together, but I really like the individual support on a one-to-one. I like really getting down to the nitty-gritty and like knowing so much about a particular dog and really like problem solving what that one dog really needs and then transforming, which you can't do in a group class sometimes.
I get that. I do love the one-to-one relationship you build. I do
you
love
have
that.
to do a little bit for everyone.
Yeah, I get that.
Whereas one-to-ones, you are
what I
solely on that
really like
person.
is the one-to-one going into a group class.
Fabulous. Yeah, that's really
That's
lovely.
the best one.
Yeah, definitely. And then the long-term member who we just get to know and love.
Completely. Okay, your turn to choose something.
Most and least favourite dog breed.
I mean, most bring a spaniel.
That was obvious.
Obvious. Least.
No offence to anyone listening who's got these breeds, obviously.
Least, I mean, so many different for so many different reasons.
You can't sit on the fence, Tash.
I'm going to say collie.
Okay. We'll talk about that why in a second. Obviously, favourite. I mean, this is actually controversial because I've got 3 dogs, all different.
You can't just say retriever.
No, exactly. So I'm going to be very specific. I've obviously got my 2 different colour labs and golden retriever. I'm going to say black lab is my fave. Working black lab.
Well done, Dave.
And if my favourite one's listening, he knows I love him. One of our clients' black labs, I literally would take him home tomorrow. I think he's gorgeous. Least favourite. Oh, God. I don't think there's one that I really go, oh my God, I hate
here we
that.
go again.
Oh, shut up. I'm trying to think of like a really least favourite. I can just see positives in all of them. Least favourite, if I had to pick one. This is going to sound really bad, and I don't mean it to. Foreign rescues.
Okay.
So let's talk about the whys of that. Why? Obviously,
well, I mean, I've got 3 Springer Spaniels. I love them. I love the energy most of the time that they bring. I love watching them work. I love watching them hunt.
It's nice to see that as like a client journey as well, seeing them open up the world.
Massively. They're lovable. I just love them. I just love them. Least. Now, I should clarify here, I don't dislike collies.
Oh, yeah, collies.
I've got a couple of collies in my classes who I absolutely love and who are wonderful. The reason I would say my least favourite is probably more so out of what I could give them as a breed is I think, now bear in mind this is my opinion, but I think they are a breed with a very, very high work drive. I think when you watch them work, it is the most beautiful thing to watch. It's incredible to watch. But I believe that in a lot of, I'm not saying every case, but in a lot of cases, it is hard to satisfy that as a pet dog owner.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like a spaniel where you go, well, let's just go to a gun dog class. Yes, agility can be amazing, but true working lines of herding, I think they get their most breed satisfaction from being on a farm in a working home.
Fair.
And it is more so just from a pet dog world point of view that I think they're one of the harder breeds to give breed satisfaction to.
Fair.
So it's not me bashing collies. As I say, I've got a couple of lovely collies in my classes who are wonderful and I love them dearly. But for me, they're just not a breed that I think I could satisfy in a pet dog home.
Fair. Black Lab, I just love them. I like their energy, I like their personalities, I like their drive. They're normally really level-headed versus like the Fox Reds. So I just love a Black Lab. I just think they're fantastic. I think they're brilliant, and it's what I want next. Foreign rescues, again, same as Tash. I'm not bashing anyone who's got one. We've got loads that come to training, and I really, really like them. But I think my reasons for that are because a lot of them are rescued in the fact that we think we're helping them, when actually a lot of them would have been much happier staying where they were. Which I know that sounds a little bit weird, but a lot of foreign rescues have been street dogs. They're quite happy living on the streets, just because it's not our UK standard of what is right for a dog. It is right for them. It's all they've known. And then to take them out of being a street dog and plump them in someone's house, it's a massive adjustment for the dog that sometimes they just didn't need, because it's that classic thing is, you help someone in the way you think they need helping rather than how they actually need helping. Like you do something, here I'm doing this to help you, but it's like, well, it's not what I needed. They actually needed something different. So do they need to be rescued is like my first kind of question. But then also I think when they come over, there's a lot of misconception about what they're going to need and be like. A lot of rescue dogs need a hell of a lot more work and understanding from a human perspective than people realise. And then I think, if you get someone who understands and recognises the dog's going to be who they're going to be and needs to work with them at their level, I think it's fine. But majority of people assume they are just going to be like a normal English bred dog and be able to do exactly the same stuff with it, and actually they're shocked or unpleasantly surprised by how different it is and how much extra consideration they need. But I do love a lot of foreign rescues, I know. But it's just, I think on a whole, it's a misunderstood topic.
Fair.
It's your turn to pick next.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They're really hard to think of on the spot. Favourite...
I've got 3 in my head.
Have you? But that's good. Favourite and least favourite... Favourite and least favourite training tool?
Ooh. Favourite has got to be a clicker. Bloody love a clicker. Least favourite training tool? Gosh, we could get into a can of worms here. Can I have 3?
Sure, why not? Why not?
Okay, can I just say I can't do a blanket, can I? Least favourite is, can I say 2? Thanks.
I mean, I gave you 3 originally. So
is the e-collar and the prong collar.
Fair.
Yours?
I would say, obviously, I'm probably thinking more along the lines of favourite tools for my dogs. For mine, if I were to look at it with them, I would probably say one of my favourite tools is a tennis ball.
Can you class that as a training tool?
It depends how you use it.
I mean, I've got to agree, but...
Least, I mean, I would agree with you in terms of the least. But if I was looking at it and leaving that part of it aside, I would say something like an anti-pull harness.
Yeah, fair. Okay, my reasons. Clicker. I just bloody love a clicker. The little power of clicking that box now. It's
That remote control.
Oh, if only. Yeah, that is the misconception. A lot of people think a clicker is a remote control. You point at your dog, click, and they're just going to do magically what you
That'd
need.
be wonderful.
But it's not. I think it's how they can cut through the noise and really help with communication. You can use it in absolutely any aspect of training to help with anything. And I find myself, and I find with people, when you start using a clicker, you can see your training suddenly escalate. Is escalate the right word? I don't know, like improve. You can suddenly see more successes. I think the other two are pretty damn obvious. E-collars, prong collars, I don't agree with the use of them. I don't agree with inflicting pain or discomfort on dogs to make them behave. Quite simple. It's against me ethos completely.
Fair. So, yes, you could probably argue a tennis ball isn't really a training tool.
I use it as a training. It's a reward.
I think there's a lot of versatility to it. People just look at it as something you throw for your dogs, and it's probably the way I use it the least. But, you know, if I look at it for mine, it is a great hunting tool. So they go out and hunt for a lot of tennis balls, and it's a great way because mine love it of getting their nose down and searching. It's something I really helped with. That's something that really helped with Barney's sit stays. Is a tennis ball and that anticipation, like that anticipatory release onto something.
That's why Rem's sit stays so good.
Like before I started doing the anticipatory sort of sit stays, his sit stay was awful, and now it's pretty good because he's anticipating that thing of what's to come. So I just think there's a lot of versatility.
Oh, definitely.
As I say, I would agree with you in terms of yours, but in terms of the things I see, I would say, you know, anti-pull harness, because they're marketed as being this quick fix for a lot of dogs.
Magical device.
And look, I will hold my hands up and say I used one on Rufus before I knew kind of much about it. And I don't know, I think there's not really much I like about them. I think they look uncomfortable, they are uncomfortable, they don't actually do anything.
And often they actually increase pulling.
So they're just not for me.
Fair.
Just not for
me. Okay.
Well, you've got 3 in your head. So.
Yeah, I know. I kind of suddenly have my blank. Most and least favourite food reward.
Oh, I was going to say most or least favourite treat, so a similar
Same
one I
thing,
had in my
right?
head.
Well, no. We can expand.
Depends how specific you want to be. So most or least favourite food reward. Least, I'm going to go straight in with least favourite. Is anything that is a dry, boring piece of kibble or biscuit from wherever. Anything like that's my least favourite. My most favourite, probably pate.
Nice. Okay, I'm got to say something different because that's just boring. Okay, so my favourite is Primula.
Nice.
And my least favourite is actually, I can't say something different because it is. My least favourite is shop walk crap. Like the stuff in the packets that is marketed as training treats that's like this big and it is just full of junk.
Yeah.
And it's like generally doesn't taste very nice and dogs don't really want
boring.
it.
There's no smell to it, there's no flavour to it. But again, the big companies out there have spent a lot of money marketing it and made us believe that these things are wonderful and our dogs love them.
Yeah.
And
generally they're not healthy. Dogs aren't motivated by them. People say, oh, my dog can't work and concentrate. Well, they can, it's just you've got enough food.
Will my dog eat it? Yeah, but...
I always liken it to me working for a rice cracker. If I was starving, I would eat a rice cracker. But by choice, even when you've offered me a chocolate-covered one, no thank you.
I love a chocolate rice cake.
No, disgusting.
Love them.
Why is pate your favourite?
I think because, again, it's quite versatile. It comes in lots of different flavours. You can use it how you want. You could chop it up. It
is quite versatile.
You can
it's tasty.
You can...
What was their slogan on the JR one? Mush it,
chop it,
yeah.
Spread it or something. But yeah, I think it's just nice and versatile.
Okay. Primula, I just think I'm sure dog training is the only reason Primula is still in business. If you haven't discovered Primula cheese for your training yet, you need to.
It is very good.
I like how, obviously, a lot of the time, dogs are too stressed, too anxious, too whatever, too riled up to eat. So people go, I can't feed my dog treats. But as soon as you pull out a Primula tube, the dogs don't have to eat anymore. All they have to do is lick and they get that instant reward. So I think it's just that nice halfway house from a dog being a little bit too stressed to eat, but they can still have Primula. And then obviously it's got the calming effect of the licking along with a nice bit of Primula. It's easy to dish out and it really helps with certain aspects of training like your positioning and loose lead walking, etc. And it's just that elevated, cool thing to give them. Obviously in moderation, it's not like the healthiest thing, but we all eat McDonald's every now and again, right? Mm-hmm. It's your turn to pick.
Most or least favourite piece of training advice or hearsay that you have either heard or that you would give to somebody?
That is hard. Oh, that's really... How do I pick just one? Jeez. Most pieces of... Is this piece of advice I'm going to give someone or ones I've heard?
Either or.
Okay. Most valuable piece of information or piece of advice to give, I would be, is to meet your dog where they are.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. Least... Oh, my goodness.
There's so many.
How do I pick? Least... I think the least favourite thing that people get told is that it's their fault the dogs are where they are.
Nice.
Yours? You had more time to think, that's not fair.
Mine's probably a little bit similar to yours, but most is probably train and work with the dog that's in front of you. Least, I mean, there are so many, but I'm going to go with something like not taking your puppy out till they're 12
Oh, God, yeah, that's a brilliant one. Cool. Okay, so let's explain why. What did I say?
Meet the dog where they are.
Where they are, yeah, cool, thanks.
Which is very similar.
Similar but different.
Yeah.
I think it's because most people have expectations of what they want their dog to do, and their expectations are misaligned with where their dog's currently at.
Me.
And I think just highlighting and reminding people that wherever they're at now, if you meet them where that is, and then work on them where they're comfortable, where they're able, and where they can succeed, everything else will grow. But if you don't get that first success, you can't take a step. It's like a ladder rung, isn't it? If the first rung's up here, then you're never going to get it. Whereas if you've got lots of little rungs, you can climb up quicker.
100%.
Least favourite, I think so many times dog owners are told, unfortunately by other trainers, that it's their fault that their dog is reactive. It's their fault that their dog is struggling with something, or it's their, everything bad is because of what you did to your puppy. And I think that's really, or your dog. I think that's really unfair, because people only do what they can do at a moment in time. They can only use the information and the knowledge they've got at one moment in time. And, they only do what's best and what they think is best. And sometimes you've got the knowledge to help. Sometimes you need external support. Sometimes it's nothing to do with what you've done. It's your dog and their personality, and it's just learning it's genetics, it's the experiences they've had, and it's just learning how to meet them where they are. And a good trainer would never blame you. Mm-hmm. They would exactly have the conversation we just had and say, it's nothing you've done, it's just a combination of factors. You've only done what you can do is right. Now let's clean state, let's move on. And then we can start rebuilding everyone's confidence. Because if a dog handler, dog owner's confidence is knocked, everything else is affected. Because 100%. They start thinking their dog can't do stuff when they can.
100%.
What were your reasons?
So training the dog in front of you, very similar to yours. It's very easy to compare yourself to others. Mm-hmm. Or, I was having this chat with Jay, our gun dog trainer, the other week when I took mine to gun dog class. Is Coco's classes before Barney's, and I find that really hard.
Hard transition.
Because Coco is probably the most advanced of my three in terms of gun dog. And I then go into Barney's class with this expectation of why can't you do what she does?
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's hard to just switch your training style over.
You know, I get frustrated sometimes. And, you know, me and Jay ended up having a chat, and she's like, but you're not rewarding the small steps because you're thinking that he can do it.
Yeah.
And so I find it a lot easier kind of, I don't necessarily mean it in terms of working from my weakest dog to my strongest. I don't mean it like that. But he's 11 months old.
Yeah.
Working from him to then Coco or Murph, for example, is a lot easier because I'm building that up as opposed to going from a dog that can do this.
So then suddenly...
And I find that really hard. And remembering that each of your dogs, each of my dogs, each of whoever's listening, all of our dogs are completely different. And not comparing to the person next to you or what you know, but like you said, what your end goal is, but actually training the dog that's in front of you is the way that we're going to succeed. And it's really hard to remember that sometimes.
Yeah. I know on a Thursday, a family situation hasn't let me recently, but on a Thursday I used to do 3 classes back to back, one with each dog, and switching, not necessarily from capability, but my training style, because my training style with each dog is completely different in terms of their motivation. Switching from one to the other, it was like, whoa, God, it was like flicking a switch. It was really tough. So really I get that.
And then the puppy one, I think there's just this big thing out there that puppies shouldn't go out until they're 12 weeks old. And this is where everybody looks at it differently, because I understand from a vet point of view and a health point of view why they safeguard and say that. However, from a training socialisation point of view with our dogs, your dog going out before they're 12 weeks old doesn't mean that you have to put them on the floor in the woods. It means, you know, with Barney, I probably did the most with Barney out of all 3 of mine in terms of socialisation, actually. I don't know, actually, I did a fair bit with Murph, but then COVID hit. So Barney's probably had the longest period of that socialisation of coming in my arms to the garden centre, to a cafe, to the pub, to the woods, on a dog walk, on this, on that, and seeing so many different things has been really beneficial for him.
Yeah, definitely, I would agree. I don't know about you, but I'm out of inspiration now. You agree?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully you found that useful. Very, very thinking on our feet. You literally got exactly what came out of our mouth. There was no pre-rehearsal of that. We didn't even know what the questions were going to be. So hopefully you found it useful. And obviously, if it has sparked any topic you'd like us to expand on,
then... you want to ask us a favourite or least?
Yeah, ask us one. We'll answer the next one. Then do obviously, again, pop it in the comments. Feel free to message us on social media. Contact us via our website form, because we're always up for starting a new conversation, a new discussion on a different topic. So, if you have got any feedback, let us know. As always, do like the podcast, comment, share with anybody, dog owner-wise, friends and family that you think would benefit from this. Obviously, it helps more people to hear the podcast and benefit from, hopefully benefit from what we've got to say. Have a wonderful week, and we will catch up with you really soon. If you love listening to the podcast, why not check out the Potter Academy for practical dog training advice and how-to videos. The hub is broken down into sections, and hundreds of pre-recorded videos are there for you to start watching whenever you choose. You can watch them back as many times as you like. You also get to talk to other community members and discuss your training and benefit from live Q&As with myself where you can get your questions answered. Why not make use of our 3-day free trial where you can access all of the content on the hub absolutely free for 3 days. The link is in the description below, so do check that out, and I can't wait to see you in the hub.
Thank you for listening to The Dynamic Dog Owner with me, Debbie Potter. See you next time.